as much as they can, and in this way they relieve their karma. So, you know, there is a whole purpose in life. But in the modern worldview, that we don't see any God, we don't see any divine plan, and we don't see any divine reason for anything that happens to us. It's all going on by chance. Yeah? But this whole chance idea is mathematically doesn't make sense. Great mathematicians say it's very unlikely that by chance all this comes about. Right? So, but it's deeply ingrained in the modern way of thinking, and that's the thing. But if we see a divine plan behind it, then we can accept it better. And help the kid through it, even with the handicap and so on. Yeah. And in that way, you can give it some blessings. And that's your duty as a parent. You know? That's your duty. But we think the purpose of life is to enjoy this world, because this world is a wonderful playground, and here we are all meant to have a wonderful time. And we're so happy with Mickey Mouse, you know, and it's all one big Disney world. Oh, my balloon, my party hat. I don't know if you see it like that, but it wasn't like that where I grew up. It wasn't Disney World, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So the material world's not a place to enjoy. You know, heard of Mr. Bean? I mean, did you see that one where Mr. Bean was checking into a hotel? You know, he comes to the desk and there's one of those bells, you know, which you just tap on the top and then it says bing. So, you know, he goes like, well, comes in with the mini, of course. Comes into the desk and just goes bing, 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 bing. Typical Bean, right? And alright, they take him up to the room and they make the movie a little shorter, you know, because otherwise it goes on too long, and they get to the room, checks it out, he says, alright, ready to take it. Then, when he's alone up there, he takes his suitcase and pulls out a Black & Decker drill. Starts drilling holes in the wall, just like everywhere. Screws and everything in it, and then he pulls out of his suitcase, he pulls paintings, and he hangs the paintings on the wall, everything. And then he has a flower vase with plastic flowers, and he puts that one. Then, you know, so finally he puts a sign, Home Sweet Home, on the wall. And then he wants to use the bathroom and realizes that he doesn't have an attached bath. He goes, checks it out in the corridor, and yes, the bathroom is right next to his room. He has a saw blade which he puts on the drill, and cuts out a door, somehow or other. Locks the bathroom from the inside, everything okay. You know, puts on his sleeping hat, takes his teddy bear, and is ready to go to bed. So that's ridiculous. Huh? He's treating a hotel room as if it's a permanent place, as if he lives there. It's ridiculous. And we're doing the same thing. We're treating this temporary world, which is just a transit lounge, like a permanent place. It's ridiculous. Time has moved along, and it's now 8:20. Is that a good time to sort of... Yeah.
Just about that 5-10 minutes.
Shall we have a 5-10 minute cue time? Or...
I'm hoping for half an hour cue.
But just to... Huh?
One or two questions?
More questions? Okay. Questions. Yep.
I just wondered about the last point about this is a temporary place. When you talk to some people, they say that they're no different. They just feel that this is their home. How do you know that this is the afterwards?
Yeah, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? This is my home. Okay. No, we don't know. We don't know such things. And therefore, but we heard something. So we think of the options open. There might be something more. There might be something more in this world. There might be something eternal. But we don't know. And like this, we carry on living our life, you know, like everybody else. This is the world we know, and what more do I know? I also used to be like that. I used to think, like, you know, the God question, that you'll never be able to answer. You know what I mean? Some people say yes, some people say no, but how can you figure it out? So I said, I'll put that one on the shelf and leave it for what it is. That's what I did before. And yeah, some sort of eternal world, a heaven or whatever it is, a spiritual world. How do you know? Well, so it was like that for me also. But then what happens is, then when you meet devotees, right, they have such faith that it's just, it's too much. I went to India, and when I came to India, all these people of India, hundreds of millions of them, they had so much faith. They were all like so religious. And I was on this train in India, and everyone was praying. One man in the luggage rack, Ram, 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 Ram. 1 hour, still Ram, Ram, Ram. An old man came to me and said, son, everything is in God's hands. Meanwhile, the Muslims are doing their namaz, you know, and bowing down, and it's like everyone on the train was praying. And it sort of made me think a little bit, you know, well, is there something, is there not? So, when you get confronted with people who have faith, you start thinking about it. But still you don't know. But then when you meet or get confronted with great saintly personalities, then you see that they have qualities that are extraordinary. This is how Prabhupada was able to change the lives of so many people, because of his clear realization, his happiness. You know, just a level of happiness which was beyond what people normally have, and clearly visible, and such faith, and always saying that yes, it is all coming from Krishna, and you know, whatever powers he had, whatever experience he had, all coming from Krishna. So we need some examples. We need to see some people who have become different when they live by such a conviction. Otherwise we can't accept it. So because of Prabhupada, we became attracted. Then we said, yes, there must be some truth in this. And then we saw that those who followed him also became special. Then we started to sort of develop a little bit of trust in the whole thing. That, well, it looks like that there's some happiness to be found there. Something more than what ordinary people had. Then when you experiment, then you get some experiences. And it said it's just like a land map. If you have a land map, let's say from Europe, and you go across from London to Amsterdam and then Brussels, well, if the map is really good for the first part, then you say yes, and then Paris comes, and then from Rome, and Paris is so much, and Rome is so far. By the time you are in Brussels, and you know the map, and you know it's a good map, then you start to make many predictions. So, if you develop some initial faith in Krishna consciousness because of great saintly personalities, and you start to practice something, then you experience that it's better, then your faith will grow. And then you start saying, yeah, probably there's a spiritual world as well, although I can't see it. Then you can believe in it. So therefore, without the association of devotees, who can show us something better, that they have realized something better, without it, we will never have faith in